Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Guiding Keys podcast. This is going to be a special episode where we talk about Kingdom Hearts Reconnect, the event that we were just at. I am joined today by Dolan1016,
Yo.
Backstory Ben,
Hello, everybody.
Princess Kaiora, or PK,
Oh.
Supersonic Jedi,
Hello.
and Nick, because I don't know what you want me to call you otherwise.
That's okay. You can call me Nick or Dango is fine too.
All right. So we were all just at Kingdom Hearts Reconnect last weekend. So I guess just before we really get into this, how's everybody feeling?
Oh,
Reconnect
boy.
depression is real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very true.
yeah, it's settled a little bit since then, but yeah, the first few days were bad.
Mm-hmm. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, it would be, it was such like a high, like being there and seeing everybody and that kind of whole thing. And then, when everyone goes back home, it's like, oh, back to normal now. Haha, normal, regular life.
Yeah.
But, thankfully, I think they added like some sort of voice channel to like the server or whatever. So like if we ever decide to do like, hey, let's do like a game night or something, then we have access to it. So well, we'll see that that happens, but that'd be fun.
Yeah,
that would be perfect, actually.
I especially
Yeah.
feel that, and like the whole like post reconnect depression has hit me especially hard because I live in an area where it's a retirement zone, so at least 50% of the population is 40 years older than me. So it's like, what friends do I have to come back home to? But funny enough, I actually learned that one of my friends from Reconnect actually lives in the same county as me. So it turns out I didn't come home empty-handed. So that was exciting to learn.
Hey.
Oh, lucky.
That was very surprising.
Yeah,
Yes.
so apparently we're neighbors.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I didn't really get a chance to feel the post reconnect depression because I literally had work the next day.
Fair enough.
Yep.
And I had school too, so
Mm.
it sucked for me because, like, first of all, like I said, I had school to come back to, which I wasn't really super, anticipating. But
Right.
also the fact that every single one of my friends that I've met at Reconnect all live probably either in Texas or in different parts of the country that are super far away, and it's like I got no friends to go back to.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I'm kind of surprised the amount of Kingdom Hearts content creators and like just fans in general that live in Texas. It's like what's in Texas? What's drawing all of them to Texas? But yeah, literally the last night I was saying goodbye to everyone, and I'm like, great, I'm ready to pack up my shit and move to Texas.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, I live in Texas. I literally live like 45 minutes from where the convention happened, so I just drove there every day.
Oh, that's convenient.
Very convenient. Yes. Wow.
I
Yeah.
live further south in Texas, so it was just like an hour flight, and then Latrix picked me up from the airport.
Well, that's a good deal. Yeah.
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 I had to come from LA.
Oh wow.
Ooh,
Far.
Sunnyside, LA.
Wow. But good stuff though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I came from Florida, so
Yep. I'm
Oh,
right next.
Florida.
Yep.
Make all the
I'm right.
all the
Oh
jokes.
right. The Florida. Yeah. Florida people.
Yeah.
Anyway, I came from next door. I'm in Louisiana, so it wasn't too far away from me.
Oh,
I
hey, there you
suppose.
go.
So that worked out.
I'm
You came
from
from the
Louisiana, so
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think you mentioned that while we were there, so I thought that was really neat.
Yeah,
Speaking of
I
like-
came from. Oh, sorry. Go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry. You're good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I came from same place as Nick, but not LA, Sacramento area.
Oh, okay.
You're not too
Gotcha.
far.
Shush. It's like a 3-hour drive. Or no, I think it's like 6-hour drive, I think. I don't know.
I was gonna say,
it can't be
don't forget
that.
traffic.
Right. Well, I mean,
That's
there you
like
go.
that-
Just with
Okay.
that, we learned a little bit more, and like I guess we're not as far away as we thought we were.
please don't dox us.
I mean, I was gonna say, speaking of people of like travel, how I know Damo and Water live in New Zealand, so that's a long travel for Reconnect.
Wow.
Oh, Dago's from New Zealand? I thought he was from Australia. He's from New Zealand?
Or I think it's New Zealand. It might be Australia. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Whatever.
New Zealand, Australia, they're basically the same thing. But yeah, it was like
Yeah,
them like across
sure.
the pond.
Yeah.
and then we had Faye.
Yeah,
Faye
she
Leslie,
came from
right?
England.
She came
Yeah.
from the
Oh,
UK,
yeah.
right? So like we had a few international people, which was kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very wild. But there you go. That just shows the love for the franchise and like the camaraderie. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and just get started with talking about some of our favorite aspects of Reconnect. So I guess I'll just get started with what was everybody's like favorite overall part of Reconnect. I mean, I guess probably just meeting everybody, but like I don't know. I just want to see like what was everybody's kind of favorite part of Reconnect, your favorite memory from it. We'll get into the more specifics of like which event we thought was the best a little bit later. So if anybody would like to start,
I mean, yeah, just meeting everybody. Like, I like all the people. Like, I'm like, wait, I know your username. That's so cool.
My experience was really interesting because like I'm a PNG / VTuber, whatever you want to call it. So like going to the event, like the only two friends that knew what I looked like were my friend Peach and my friend Amadborn Kokiri. Those two were the only ones who knew what I looked like. So it's kind of one of those things where like I showed up and I'm like, okay, like I don't want to get too anxious, so I'm just gonna kind of like just exist and then see if someone can like pluck me out. I actually wrote PK on my name tag just to see if anybody could pick up. And then apparently I learned something interesting. Apparently my voice is very recognizable because like I would talk or laugh and someone would be like, PK! I'm like, hello. like literally guides, like he was telling me this on his stream Monday, and he said he heard my voice in the main room and he was immediately like, oh, I hear PK. Where's PK? Where's PK? So apparently everybody knows my voice, which is hilarious because I thought I'm just gonna chill, nobody's gonna recognize me probably, which is totally fine. I don't want a ton of attention. And when someone's like, PK, I know that voice. And I'm like, oh boy.
yeah,
Oh my
I was looking for you. I think I finally found you on either Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, so that was funny. But yeah, everybody was just so warm and like welcoming, and just the hype and the love that is shared between like everybody, and like literally like the diversity amount of people that were there. Like there were people of like all different genders, sexualities, body types. Like it didn't matter. Like everyone was there for the same thing, and it was to share the love of this series and to, for lack of a better term, reconnect with each other. So just the love that was felt in the event was just outstanding. Because you can ask my friends any of this. Like I was super anxious about going. I was super scared. So yeah, just feeling the amount of like, oh my gosh, PK, I can't believe I see you. Like it was overwhelming, like in the best way.
I think that was kind of part of it too, sort of like, oh, I know all these names, and now I have to sort of combine these names to these faces, because, most of us, of course, never showed our faces before, and then just being there, and then once we sort of made that initial sort of link or connection or whatever you want to call it, then it just got way easier. So I think that was definitely an improvement from last time, because I don't know about the rest of you, but I went to KH20. I went to the very first one that Guides did last year, and literally all I knew was, I guess I knew who Kokiri was at that point, but I only really knew Andy and Landy, and then everyone else I was like, okay, I don't know, I don't know what your name online is, so I don't know, and like just a bunch of people, but. So it made things a lot easier, right? Because now meeting so many more people and like having like that sort of chance to meet even more people on top of that was very fulfilling, I guess, of an experience. And man, going from KH20, which where we had like maybe somewhere between 30, 40, 50 people, to 173, I think was the number of attendance this year. It was wild. And I was like, seeing the quality jump
Crazy.
between and even like just the quality jump between KH20 and Reconnect was impressive to look at too. Like they ran out the whole like venue and the hotel, like that was very nice. At KH20 we literally just went to like an arcade and we had like our own like party room. And just again going back to, you know, or seeing the upgrade again to Reconnect was very impressive. Like it still felt a very like homemade kind of like vibe, right? Because, you know, there wasn't a lot of staff members and like it, you know, it was still kind of a homegrown thing, but it was definitely a little bit more professional, which is nice. So I don't know, just I guess in my experience doing both, just seeing the quality and the improvements and like having an easier time kind of like mingling with everyone, that was my favorite part.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
I think the fact that this is only their like second like big event like this, the quality already was really good. I was not at
Yes.
KH20.
Yeah.
I wish I could have, but I mean, you know, you could tell it was you know, a fan event. It was not like an official convention, but like it was a very
Yeah.
high quality for what it was. So I think, you know, and going forward, I'm sure if they do it again, it'll be even better. It'll be even bigger. You know, I think Guides and Mrs. Guides and the whole staff, they put together a great event.
Very much
It's
so,
so
yeah.
true.
Yeah. I
I
almost prefer that homemade
feeling.
feeling. I almost prefer that homemade feel
too.
of the event because I feel like, you know, if it was something big like Comic-Con, like I don't know if this would be like a little harsh, but it would almost feel too corporate. Like it would almost start to feel like, you know, they're here to like, you know, do this for a profit. Whereas with this, you know, because it feels homemade and it is smaller, like it almost feels like, you know, we're not doing this, you know, we're not doing this for the process of for the purpose of, you know, gaining profit. You know, we're doing this because we just want to reconnect with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
I do
more
agree with that.
intimate too. It's
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you get a chance to know people. I want to ask y'all who are at KH20. Was there anything like the Reapers game at KH20?
If I remember correctly, I don't think so. There may have been something similar to that. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah. So last year at KH20, instead of like the Reapers game sort of setup, I think the collectible sort of thing for EXP tickets was like the materials for the raft from KH1. So we had to like get like the logs and the cloth and the fish and that kind of stuff. I don't think it was as sort of organized as the Reapers game was, because I mean, you literally had like different hosts for the different sort of mini games. As far as I remember, it was just like, oh, you participated in an event, here, have some of the materials, that kind of thing. Because again, it was like the first one, and it was smaller, like way smaller, and they had to kind of like get sort of the structure figured out and everything. So Reapers game definitely was something good and something improved, and man, it was just that was fun.
I think it played a big part too in getting people to interact with each other. So,
Oh, for
yeah, I
sure.
was gonna say,
Agreed.
like we were just on the first night, Nick and then the other member of our team, Sydney. We were just sitting at our table. It was me, Latrix, and Jedi, and we were like, okay, we're making a team. Who we have 2 spots. Who wants to join? And Nick and Sydney were like, oh, we'll join. And we're like, okay, cool. And when we had a team, the whole 5-person team for the whole time, and it was really fun. And we met y'all. It was really cool.
Yes. I think that was the purpose of it, was to get everyone together and like camaraderie and stuff, which is nice.
Oh yeah, and the Reapers game was so much fun too. I really enjoyed just I don't know. I liked having like an activity that was like a regular like, ooh, what's the next mini game gonna be? Ooh, what is the next, you know, activity gonna be? You know, in between the main events. It was just kind of fun to just give us, you know, something else to do.
Definitely it was.
Yeah.
Waiting for the next event to start. So
Yeah. A bunch of us actually made a team, but we didn't do shit with the Reapers game because like we all kept on like kind of like dispersing throughout the weekend, and so then like they'd be like, okay, your next mission, and I'd be like, where's my team? Where's my team? like where's the team? And then they introduced math problems, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'm checking out.
I know. I was gonna bring that up. I was like, oh my god, the math. I didn't expect to do math
solve
here.
for X. Like it wasn't even like 2 + 2 or like what is Nomura's magic number or something like that. No, it was like solve for
But
X.
that was
I'm like, nah, bro, I'm checking out.
literal,
I'm checking
yes.
out. Like, nope.
Speaking of the magic number, we did I did the math problem one. The answer with all of them combined, it was 713 naturally.
Of course it
Oh,
was.
Of course. I should
Couldn't
have just
have,
guessed.
I would have been disappointed if it wasn't that.
Which also 173 people. Can I just say there's a 1, a 3, and a 7 in the number?
True. All you gotta do is just rearrange
yeah.
it, and then there you go. You got
Nice.
713 again.
Also to add on to that, so the last day of Reconnect, which was the North American anniversary of Kingdom Hearts 1, I actually reached 713 followers on Twitter, which was hilarious.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
so many coincidences.
Awesome.
I took a screenshot of that. Normally I don't do this because I just, it's whatever, but I was just like, no, I'm doing this because this will never happen again.
No, of course. I was gonna say like it's very much destiny, and it's never left a chance. Ahaha.
Yeah.
Man. That was
Yeah, I.
Sorry. Had to.
No, of course you had to.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to add to that the question, like what my favorite part of Reconnect was, and I completely agree with Backstory Ben, like the whole networking thing and being able to actually see, Latrix and Dallin in person, and getting to know a little bit about them and all that. And the interesting thing with me is that it wasn't just so that I could go to Reconnect. It was so that I could actually explore a little bit of Texas, because, like I said, I came from California to Texas, and one of the big parts of me actually deciding to go and spend the money on the ticket and whatever is to actually, explore some parts of Texas, like going to Buc-ee's and going to these different restaurants and shops and different like little things around like the Dallas area. I was originally going to go to like more places up in like Frisco and Waco, but the Reconnect event itself was so very engaging, especially considering like the Reaper's game and stuff. There was at one point where I actually was going to like not show up on one of the days because I was going to go explore more stuff in Texas. But because I loved what was going on at the venue and everything, with the friends and the activities and everything, that I just decided, you know what? I'm going to visit Texas another day and do all of the stuff that I was going to do. But this trip is for Reconnect. So that's how powerful this event was. It's like, I initially didn't think it was going to be that crazy, but it ended up being crazy, and it, fun and everything, being able to meet everybody and do these cool things with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny you were saying like, oh, I'm gonna come from California, I'm gonna do like Texas stuff. And meanwhile, I'm pretty sure I ate In-N-Out like every single day.
I know, right? It was right next door, and I was like, oh, I recognize that. Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
it's
but
wild.
I get what you're saying, Jetta. That it was a lot more fun than I expected it to be really fun, but it exceeded my expectations even.
Oh
Then.
yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
very much so.
Yeah, needless to say, by the end, like, I have never been more sad for a vacation to end. And this is coming from someone who grew up going to like Disney World and such like that. So Disney World was always like the highlight vacations for me growing up. And of course, it was always depressing when those were over. But
Right.
yeah, like when it came to the end, I'm like, no, I'm not ready for this to be over. But yeah, I definitely wish, like, part of me wishes I explored more of Texas a little bit because it was my first time visiting the state. But I know that, like, yeah, like, even if I stayed like for an entire week as opposed to just like the 4 nights that I was there, like, it wouldn't have been the same because I was there for the homies. So yeah, it wouldn't have been the same. Although I could have hung out with Felicia at the hotel. She probably would have appreciated that.
Right, yeah. And
Yeah.
all those separate sort of smaller things too. Oh guy
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
She was there for like almost the whole week, wasn't she?
I think so, right?
Yeah, I think she arrived Tuesday before the event. She arrived either Tuesday or Wednesday before the event, and then she went back the Wednesday after. So yeah, she was
Wow.
unfortunately she was at the hotel I think for like 2 days by herself. So
Oof.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're coming all that way, you might as well make it worth it, right?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was exactly my idea of it. Is like, how can I make the most out of this trip if, like, this is just a hypothetical situation where I was like, if the Reconnect event is not what I thought it would be, what else could I do over there? And that's why I, like I said, I took it upon myself to explore Texas a bit, just in case things didn't go the way I thought. But then things went the way that I thought. And so, yeah, here we
Well,
are.
I guess that's just your lesson learned. Do not underestimate the Kingdom Hearts community.
Oh yeah.
True.
We know how to have a good time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's gonna be
Alright.
our new anthem.
Shout out to
All right.
Super Spike Getty Bros.
Yes.
So let's move on to, I guess, just the next topic. We can get more into the specifics of like what our favorite parts of Reconnect were a little bit later, but right now I just kind of want to talk about, so, obviously I think we're all hoping they do this again. So
Yeah.
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 What would y'all want to see from the next Reconnect, or whatever they decide to call it? An Oath to Return, maybe? I don't know.
It honestly might be that, because you never know. I don't know. See, that's a great question, because honestly, I don't really know. Like on the last day on Sunday, I was sitting with Andy and Kitties, and we were just chatting about like things we might see, like if they did this next year, like improve. So I guess on topic. And then I was like, oh yeah, at Case 20, they did like a table read where like we played out some scenes from the games, and that was a lot of fun. And unfortunately, didn't have time to return. And I can understand why. It took a very long time the first go around. And then, well, they had it last year, but also this year, like one of my like most anticipated things was the cosplay contest, where everyone came out and like in their costumes, and that was a lot of fun too. And then I was thinking to Kitties, I was like, what if because I think they had mentioned like, oh yeah, that was a lot of fun, I wish we could have done like a smaller thing like that. So I'm thinking, what if like if the event got bigger and they had like a main hall sort of thing, kind of like Comic-Con, where they have like a main place and they have all the big stuff, and then they have like smaller rooms for like other things. That depends on budget and like time or whatever. I was thinking, what if we like combined the table read and the cosplay contest, and then we literally like acted out skits with like people would have their costumes on and they would be their characters, and like they'd do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't know if it would be hard or easy to organize that. Again, it sort of depends on if they have the space for it and if they have the time for it. But personally, that would be something I would love to see return, because I did really miss the table read.
Well,
I don't know,
I guess
but,
I can. I guess I can just go ahead and say, I'm a mega nerd, and I do a Kingdom Hearts themed live action roleplay, so I would so be down for that.
Oh yes, definitely.
Damn. Yes.
Awesome.
I'd love that.
That would be a lot of fun, I think.
I guess the other thing is what I would really love to see at a next Reconnect. Kind of you talking about like if there was a main hall like Comic-Con or Fan Expo or something. I would love to see like an artist alley.
Ooh,
Yes,
yes.
I was
Yes,
just about-
vendors.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was
artist alley and vendors.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Latrix, because I actually, when Guides was mentioning, hey, if you have any suggestions for Reconnect, submit them. That was actually something that I recommended, because I feel like having like an artist alley, like someplace where the artists, especially if they do like the MDAs again and such like that, like this would be a great way for artists to network, and not even just like an artist alley, but also like some type of like art gallery. So like fan artists, they can submit art to the staff, and they can either they could either display physical prints, or they could just do like a slideshow of just like all this, kind of similar to what they did for March Caprice, where it's like a slideshow of like Kingdom Hearts fan art and stuff like that. But I definitely,
especially because they have the whole they have a little bit of downtime between events, and for what there was, they just had like the logo up on screen and were playing the music. They could just have like a slideshow with art that was submitted.
Definitely.
They had the interviews, the Kingdom Hearts interviews with some pictures. They could have totally had like kind of just a real slideshow, just a running tally of like just Kingdom Hearts fan art from like Twitter or X, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely like the idea of an artist alley, especially because I know Kitty's, she was selling acrylic keychains. Like she obviously she didn't have like a booth or anything, but I know like she had like business cards on her, and like I didn't bring anything, but I know eventually I would like to possibly dip my feet into possibly selling my artwork and maybe some merchandise at cons. So I think this is also like a great way for like smaller artists to kind of dip their feet and maybe get their first taste at running a booth, that type of thing. So they're not so overwhelmed having like hundreds of people, around and having to worry about that. It's a smaller gathering. They're like, okay, this is how you do it, and such like that. But yeah, definitely the artist alley. That's probably one of the big things I would love to see next time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had brought some stuff just to show off. Like I brought my Keyblade tarot cards that the Keyblade Forge made just to show those off, and I had so many people being like, oh my god, I would like buy a set of these. So I'm like, well, I guess if we do this again, I'm gonna have to print like a whole bunch of decks. Just to like give out to people.
Yeah. Right. Unfortunately, I have not dipped into the pool of physical merchandise yet, just because that costs money. But I would like to eventually. So if we definitely do another thing like this, I will definitely be bringing physical merchandise.
Yeah. Not only that, it would also, because Kitty's brought that up too when I was talking with her on Sunday, and we figured out that like if they have an artist alley where people can sell stuff, that's also going to draw in a lot of crowds to like join us next time, right?
Yeah.
It would definitely help with the numbers, and yeah, I don't know, the sky's the limit, I guess, on that, and then we'll see how big this grows. I would love for this to grow like even bigger, but still kind of keep that sort of like homemade feel, like you mentioned before, Kai. It would be it would be awesome to see how integrating that could change up the game. So I would love to see that.
Yeah, I already have a couple friends who they didn't go to Reconnect for multiple reasons, and like I told them about the weekend, and they're like, oh my gosh, if they do another one of these, I want to go next time. So
yes.
Oh yeah,
word of mouth, very powerful.
Even even friends like a friend Kirai Kara, Ben, you know her.
I do.
Lucky Koneko. They're both in Europe. I know they couldn't make it, so I know they would absolutely love to try and go to another one. So
yes, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I was talking to guides because saying about how we started the Guiding Keys podcast not too long ago, and I was like, well, they had the Landy Lodge and they had the Ansem report. I was like, I would love to at some point maybe bring the Guiding Keys crew in, and I already had Clark and Finn, the other two regular hosts of the podcast. They were like, oh, if we do that, we're coming next year. So
yeah, there you
go.
That's exciting. Like I said, word of mouth, spread the word out. Everyone gets a chance to go. Because I have another friend too who couldn't make it, literally just because of the date. So if they figure out another date, or if they keep consistent or location consistent, I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. If it gets bigger, then they might have to like actually change some stuff up. But if they do, true. Yeah, 4 days instead of 3.
Yeah, let's do 4 days instead of 3.
Yeah,
that would be interesting to see.
Make it longer.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, Latrix went to WeebCon earlier this year and met HMK, and then from there we were both like trying to convince HMK to go to Reconnect.
Oh, you were? Oh man, that would have been fun.
But it was like, oh, he's going to Japan. He's probably going to be traveled out. So it's like, darn.
Yeah.
But he was seeing a lot of my tweets about Reconnects, and he was liking them. So I'm like, okay, maybe if they do it again, he'll go.
Right? Yeah, who knows?
It'd be absolutely insane. Like if this got big enough to the point where like guides could reach out to potential guest voice actors.
Yes, that was something else I brought up with Kitty's too. I was like. Because I remember going to I'm sorry, I just want to say something real quick. I know Churro used to hold like fan events out in California. Like this was years ago, and
Mhm.
I went to one of them, and I actually met who was it? It was Erica Harlicker, right? That's her name.
Erica, I met her. I love her. I
Mhm.
love
Yeah,
her.
she's great. She's great. And I also met Justin Cowden, who was the original Hayner from Cage 2.
Mhm.
So like that's possible. And now that Churro is semi involved, like
Yeah.
it could work. Maybe
Yeah.
get Quinn Flynn or something.
I was
Oh,
gonna say, I
yeah,
feel
especially
like,
when you consider like
Quinn
the
would be
Kingdom
cool,
Hearts
yeah.
voice actors, like they're really involved with like the fans and
Yes.
conventions stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
imagine getting like Quentin Flynn, Paul St. Peter. I
Mhm.
mean, heck, even David Gallagher, because I've seen David Gallagher go to like a couple cons. I'm sure he would be down.
Really? Wow,
I
that's
was gonna
surprising.
say, I feel like Ben Diskin, this like
Yeah,
that kind of
Ben
thing would be right up
Diskin.
Ben Diskin's
Oh.
alley.
Yeah, I've met Ben. He's a cool guy.
Yes.
I selfishly want Allison Stoner to be there because she voices Kyrie, and Kyrie's my girl. So I selfishly want Allison Stoner there.
True, that would work. That would work. I was thinking, who is someone else? I literally had him in my.
I was
Ray
gonna
Chase.
say. Oh yes.
Ray Chase.
yeah.
He went to San Japan in San Antonio a few years ago, and he dressed as the Master of Masters.
Oh, he
Oh,
did.
that-
Oh,
oh,
no,
that's
I've seen his
amazing.
That would
tweets
be
about
sick.
that. Oh,
That would be
yes.
sick.
Oh, yeah.
Ray Chase
He's
loves
so into
Master
the
of
role.
Masters. I've seen some of his tweets where he's like dressed up, and then he did that thing for Union Cross too, just like
Yeah.
out of
He
I
just,
don't know,
like,
his own
randomly
out of his
voiced
own
it.
heart. He was just like, I'm gonna voice a cutscene for Union Cross. Oh, man, that's exciting. We have to definitely pitch
Yeah.
that to guides.
Or hey,
If budget.
oh my
and
gosh,
stuff.
who's another one?
Well, I was gonna say they had
Who's
the
his
signed.
name?
They had the signed poster from Paul St. Peter's for Voices Sound.
Right, yeah.
One of the giveaways.
I think
Who voiced Ira?
Lance was the one
Who
that
voiced
got-
Ira? It's
Oh,
Matt
Matt
Mercer.
Mercer.
Thank you,
Oh,
Matt
Matt
Mercer.
Mercer.
Yeah, Matt Mercer. Yeah, he's big on like Twitch with the Critical Role stuff, and then he recently voiced Ganondorf in Tears of the Kingdom. So
That's right.
And
yeah,
it's
so that'd be,
seeming like
that'd
he
be a
might
big
be
one.
voicing who was
Vincent.
Vincent, yeah, it seems like he might be voicing Vincent Valentine in
Oh, that would be sick.
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, the only drawback to that would be like who knows how much the voice actors would charge to be there, but I don't know if
That's
it's like
right.
Kingdom Hearts specific. Like I don't know if they see the passion behind the event, they might even be willing to do it for like a small like fee or even like for free. They might even volunteer.
Yeah, I hope so.
They seem to love the fans. They seem to really love the fans of the
Yeah.
series. So who
And
knows?
we have the whole of this year's event just to like show like, hey, this is how passionate these people are.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
exactly. Exactly. So
That would be, yeah,
that'd be wild.
blue sky thinking as they call it.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say you had mentioned meeting Erica Harlicher. I had met her last year at last year's WeebCon. She actually named for me my Persona 5 themed Keyblade Stolen
Wow.
Heart on Twitter. So I gifted her when I went there. I gifted her like a print of
Yeah.
that Keyblade at WeebCon.
Oh,
So
Awesome.
Yeah.
she said she was going to put it up in her office somewhere. So
Oh,
there's a possibility
that's
that
awesome.
one of my Keyblade designs is in Erica Harlicher's office.
I
have
know
no
that
idea.
would be wild. Yeah, I think I remember like either seeing that or maybe you had told me about that before. But yeah, that Erica loves Cage, so like I don't doubt that she would like if they start to notice this, like they would, or at least she would want to join. I think that'd be like
Oh,
a
yeah.
fun time for
Well,
sure.
when I was at WeebCon this year, I was talking to HMK, and and he was talking about Erica because he's met her before too. She's so sweet.
Right.
Oh yeah, she seems.
But
so sweet.
I was saying like I really want her to get to voice Strelitzia in Cage 4.
That would be amazing.
Please.
Ooh, yes. Definitely give her a big role because she can't just be like random woman number 2 in Olympus.
I don't know. Yeah,
she
she
was additional
she needs a
voices
lead role.
in Page 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
more
but
that.
like she needs a major named character role.
Yeah.
Come on, she
Yeah.
loves Kingdom Hearts.
Very deserved. Very deserved.
All right. So, was there anything else that like potential future events that y'all wanted to see, or did y'all want to move on to the next topic?
I don't know. That's a great question. The only thing I had in mind was the thing I mentioned earlier. I don't know.
I mean, another potential thing they could do, like kind of off of like the spirit of the Reaper's game, but something a little more Kingdom Hearts themed, possibly like a mastery of market mastery exam type of thing.
Oh my god, that would be so fun.
Yeah, true.
They could make little pins of the little mark of mastery symbol that like the Aqua Terra and Ventus all have, the little heart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
heart thing. That would be cool.
Who would be the masters administering the exam though? It's got to be Lands, right?
Lands. I was gonna say Lands.
It'd be Lance of
Lance,
Masters.
absolutely.
Either Lance of Masters or Violet Unversed cosplaying as Aqua, because Aqua is a Keyblade.
Yes,
True.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I've got master in my name. Can I do it?
I mean, you could. Yeah, you just have
I'm
to
master later.
pitch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no harm in it. Just gotta pitch it out.
The the disgruntled old man giving out these pins.
The disgruntled old man who's actually like a 24-year-old.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll go back to then touching back earlier about like our favorite parts of Reconnect. What was like your favorite event from this year's Reconnect, like specifically? Like I guess I'll start. I didn't even get to participate, even though I did throw some tickets in. But the Dream Drop data doubles were so much fun to watch, especially Violin and Sonic. Oh my god!
Yeah.
We roasted Shion, and that was so fun to watch.
That was
I know.
amazing. I have never seen somebody play Kingdom Hearts that way, where they just like drop everything into Magic, and they just waited for one opening and just unloaded.
It
Yeah.
was very impressive to see. It's
Nice.
very hard tech, and I knew that was a thing that you could do, but like just seeing it live, I guess, is a whole different sort of can of worms. It's sort of like, wow.
Mhm.
And when they started, I was so confused. I was like, wait, why are they going Crystal Snow? I don't understand what's going on. And then they started doing the fire stuff, and I was like, all right, fair enough. I should have expected that.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
it was wild to see. So wild.
And
everybody
I was gonna say with,
nuts.
with you and Mo, Ben, I knew that y'all were practicing before Reconnect. And I was pretty confident that y'all would win if y'all got the right fight, and Ansem was not the right fight.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the sad thing. When we got Ansem, I was like, yes, easy boss, let's go. And I was so confident. But then my usual typical overthinking, over analytical brain, I was like, okay, wait, we need to figure out Keyblades. Oh god, now we gotta put on accessories, and it took way too long for me to like actually, get properly set up. The only thing I regret is not putting on water. That's the only thing. If I put on water as a shortcut, that would have saved our butts. It would have worked. But man, I don't know. Again, it was still a decent attempt. It was just, I guess, it's so different when you're under pressure. And under a time limit, like 'cause we only had 2 minutes to set up and everything, and you don't think that that's so long, but it goes by so fast. But
and also actually passing the controller, because I know when y'all were streaming, y'all were just like, figuring out all the openings and stuff. But that was definitely a really interesting like twist that they did on it. It was very.
I agree. The whole, like you said, like the switching back and forth, that really does add an extra layer of challenge to it. And when I was practicing with Mo for this, and I was basically just like teaching him like, oh yeah, here's the openings, blah blah blah. I know you know all the openings, so I'm just making sure you got it for sure, and yada yada yada. So it really is just kind of like RNG at that point, where it's like, oh, 30 seconds are up, and then the boss is doing their DM, and you have no chance to like block or anything, so you got to like pass it so fast, and it was wild. But no, Violin and Sonic definitely had a strategy going into it, and I was like, oh man, I should have thought of that. But it's again, whether you win or lose, it's fun. It's fun seeing kind of like how far you can get under those strenuous circumstances, and seeing what kind of strategies you can come up with. I had notes. I literally had notes written on my phone. I was like, all right, if we get this boss, we're doing this Keyblade and we're doing this magic, or if not, then we don't have to worry about it, that kind of thing. Thankfully my notes actually came in handy, because again, you use water against Ansem, it makes it 10 times easier. But again, it's just the showcase of like everyone's abilities and skill sets, and like being able to again work under the pressure of switching and trying to survive is fun. So I think they're gonna petition to do that again, because once again, I talked to Indies and Kiddies, and they were like, oh, does anyone have any feedback? And I was like, I wish I could had like just a smidge more time to prepare, and then I would have been good to go. So they were thinking like, oh, next time we'll, instead of 2 minutes, we'll have like 3 minutes of prep or something. And well, we'll keep that proud, but maybe we'll do it at like level 99 or like not at level 70 or whatever. So
Right.
I think they're gonna petition to bring it back, and if they do, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I mean, if they do, I wanna do it for sure. I mean, I threw tickets in at like the last second, just kind of like, I had no practice, no time to prepare. I was at work the entire week before Reconnect. I had 0 time to practice. I was just like, yeah, screw it.
No, of course.
Didn't get to go, but that would have been fun.
Yeah, Kokiri and I, we were actually supposed to do it. Like we were planning to do it. Like my whole like Road to Reconnect stream the week before was practicing for the Data Devils. So yeah, we were originally supposed to do it, but unfortunately they had the Data Devils at 10 a.m. and we partied hard at the MDA after party the night before, and we overslept. So we found those. But yeah, I definitely want to bring those back, and I definitely want to really give it a shot. This time I'm not letting like Kokiri skip out on it. I'm like, no, we're going, we're doing it. We missed it last time. We're doing it this time.
I would have loved to see what you two could have pulled it off and like who you got, because also the fun part of it was you don't know which boss you're getting, so it's always
what would have been
sort of
interesting. The interesting part about if Kokiri and I had gotten drawn is the fact that Kokiri has never done a single data fight, so I would have had to carry.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that he's like doing that whole like doing the data fights for the first. Oh, that's gonna be fun to see.
He's starting that next week, and so he's all like, it's funny because like I asked him like, hey, you want to partner up? And he's like, you do realize that like I'm gonna suck, right? Because I've never done this before, and I'm like, that's okay, I'll carry.
Yeah, no, that's the fun part. Seeing what happens.
Fun part. I'll carry. You'll just run around and dodge roll, and then I'll do all the rest.
It's interesting that you brought that up before, Kai, because I think next time they're gonna try and lobby for a bigger time slot, because it felt like how many teams went up? It was like 5 or 6 or something, right?
I don't remember. I was kind of in and out during that time. Yeah,
and they kept drawing the same numbers over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Oh, I didn't even realize. Wow.
Yeah,
one team got drawn like 3 times back to back to back, so they
that's
just like
crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully next time they'll be like, oh, just put 1 ticket in, and that's all you got. So.
I'm kind of hoping that maybe it's kind of a more later event as well, like either like in the afternoon or late at night. Because I feel like the reason why there weren't too many teams is because of how early it was.
Maybe so.
Essentially, and it was a late night for a lot of us the night before because Reconnect, the NDAs didn't end until like almost 8 o'clock, so that thing ran late. And then everybody went out and partied afterwards. Yeah. So yeah.
Party hardied after.
We won't talk about my Friday night. We're not going to talk about PK After Dark Friday night.
And then to kind of build off of what the Dream Drop Data Doubles is, I also thought the Melody of Madness was really fun.
Yes.
That was my favorite.
I think
that one was my favorite.
Andy is a really good like host for events. Like
he's got that energy and he's got that sort of kind of like, I don't know what you call it, focus, I guess.
The thing about Melody of Madness was just it's such a simple game, but the energy in the room for it was so fun.
My favorite thing was watching some of the competitors, because one of the rules was you had to do a Sora style walk, and we all know Sora has the goofiest walk. So like watching some of them like ham up the Sora walk, and then some of them were just like screw it and just like ran. That was what got funny.
What was really funny was I wasn't even a runner on the Dream Drop Data Devils, but I'm sitting there in the crowd. I'm like, I know the song, and nobody's going. I literally at one point I like jumped out of my seat to go tell Team Oblivion, which we won. I was like, it's this song, go!
Yeah, and so a funny thing about that was Melody Madness, that was year number 2, because they did this last year, KH20.
Right.
And the difference in the rules was, again, going back to the whole, like, everything was improved. Like, they improved the rules. Last year, it was a madhouse. You literally had to, like, stand against the back wall, and then, oh my god. It really was madness last year, where it was like, okay, everybody needs to stay back of the wall, but then once it starts, there was no rule about walking, so you could like book it to the Heartless and then just like whack it, and it was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And I think last year, this year they had like different categories where like, oh, it's character theme and then world web, blah blah blah, etc. But last year it was literally all just like it was a grab bag. You didn't know what was gonna happen, and you had to literally name drop the song to get like the full credits for it. So when they changed the rules for it this year, I was like, okay, then they're making it a little bit easier. That's nice. Because I can recognize music from KH. I can't tell you anything about the name. I can't tell you like where it is. I felt so stupid in the back of the line because like they would play something and then it'd be like, oh, it's from this world, and then it was like a completely whole other game, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
well
I
then, fair enough.
Yeah, the only songs that I could name drop were the character themes, but everything else, it's like, okay, I know which world this is from, but I don't know the name of it. I know which boss fight this is from. Can't drop the name of it. I know which KH3 endgame boss this is. I can't drop it because it is Latin, and I don't know Latin.
Oh,
Right.
see, I listen to the Kingdom Hearts OSTs all the time, so I know like the names of like all the songs.
I do
know
too. I
where
just don't
they
look
show
at the
up.
name. I just look like it's funny because like I listen to a ton of music on YouTube when I'm working on stuff, and so I'll just look up like I'll want to listen to a particular boss theme or something like that. I'll be like, KH3 Xehanort Final Boss Theme OST, and then I'll give me the name. I'm like, I think this is it.
Yeah, Dark Domination.
Yes, Dark Domination.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think this is it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna do a small, tiny anecdote, but last year I was very impressed because I don't know whose theme it is, but they actually gave us one of the Latin songs, and then I went up. It was my turn, and I was like, Limpento Obscura, whichever one that is. I don't know if that's Zemnis or Young Xehanort or whoever, but that was like my crowning achievement from last year. And then this year, it was like, because you know we've heard it like a bajillion times when they did the Andy Blackcoat song. That I didn't even realize it only played once throughout the entire franchise, and it was that boss fight. T-Shaw was right behind me, and like PTSD, he like instantly recognized me. He was like, Ben, that's Andy Blackcoat, and I was like, is it? And then I took a listen for a second. I was like, oh yeah, it is. And then I like go up, and it was so perfect that just knowing our circumstance with the T-Shaw and I and Dreamlock and whatever, just getting that on my turn, it was peak sort of fulfilling moment for me.
Yeah. Limpento Oscuro is Young Xehanort.
Young Xehanort. Okay, cool. So I'm glad I know that because
Los Grita del Ignot is Zemnis, and then
Gotcha.
Lemonenza de Los Grita is Ansem.
There you go. You got the pronunciations and you got the different names to the bosses. I'm glad that like Obscura is Young Xehanort because again, like Dream Drop Distance, I know it too well.
Yeah, and then the one that's all three of them is Forza Finale.
That's right. That's the only one that's like doesn't follow the theme and like has a normal name.
No, Forza is Italian.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. That's true.
Yeah. See, I know way too much about Kingdom Hearts music.
No, of course. Well, there you go, Latrix. There you go. That's extra incentive to if they do it for a third year, which they may not. Who knows? But if they do it again, then you'll be perfect.
No, I mean the one that kept tripping me up is I always get the beginning notes of Aqua's theme and Roxas's theme confused because they sound exactly the same. So every time they would play Aqua's theme, I thought it was Roxas's theme, and then it was like, oh, it's Aqua, and I'm like, damn it!
I know.
The reason why I never get Roxas and Aqua's themes confused, because like I totally get what you're saying. The only reason why I don't is because Aqua's theme, there's a little motif in Aqua's theme, and it's played during Fate of the Unknown, like the full version.
Right.
Yeah, from the final mix secret ending, the KH2 final mix secret ending. Yeah, there's that whole extended version of Fate of the Unknown, and there's a motif in that song, and it's Aqua's theme. So that's why I recognize Aqua's theme, because I remember, I heard this in the Fate of the Unknown trailer. I remember that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah,
I mean, once the song
music has a lot of
progresses-
motifs, so
Yeah, once the song progresses a little bit, I can tell the difference between Aqua and Roxas's themes. It's like the first few notes are like
Oh
the
yeah,
exact thing.
yeah, they're very similar.
yes. Man.
Well, I guess since everybody was mentioning the NDAs, so I guess let's go ahead and just move on and talk about that because we are already at almost an hour. My goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's the power of Kingdom Hearts fans. We love to talk and talk and talk.
Yes.
We're very passionate.
So, I wanted to mention the MDAs, the Million Dreams Awards. So we actually have one of the winners in the chat right now, as well as two of the nominees. So, PK Kai, you won the MDA.
Yes, I
Let's
did
go.
that. Was, thank you. Yeah,
Art and
it was
illustration.
nuts. Wait, what?
I said you won the MDA for art and illustration.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was kind of nuts, especially because for starters, big shout out to my friend of mine, Borna Kokiri. He launched this huge campaign for me to win. Because thing is, like, guys announced the MDAs for Reconnect, and I thought it was a cool idea, but like I've never been like really big on like the awards types of things. It's like, oh, I'll just enjoy it from afar. Let my good luck to my fellow artists. And then he's like, you should campaign to win. I'm like, into that. Not to mention, like, I don't know. I feel weird campaigning for my own stuff. Like, to me, it's like I almost feel like I'm saying, "Hey, I am hot stuff. Like, you should vote for me," like that type of thing. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure like that's not the intent to anybody who campaigned, but that's just me. I have a weird complex like that.
Oh
but,
no, I felt the same way because I was nominated in the same categories.
Yeah. But basically he campaigned hard. Like he was like telling people in like his chat, my chat, he like on Twitter, he's like, everybody needs to vote for Kai. Everyone votes for her. Get her nominated. I'm like, okay, this is cute. And then I got nominated. I was like, oh, okay. And then he's all like, yeah, you're totally gonna win. And I'm like, probably not, because I'll be honest, like everybody who was nominated, super talented, but I feel like was gonna win. I thought Nocturne was gonna win because not only is he an insanely talented artist, but he just has like a much bigger presence in the community. So like so many more people have known him for like way longer, and like I'm still technically new. I've only been in the community for like a year and a half. So I thought for sure Nocturne was gonna win, but which was okay, which was totally okay with it. Like everybody deserved the win. That's the insane thing about the MDAs is like everyone who was nominated deserved the award. Everyone was so talented. So
exactly.
Yeah, so awards nights comes like, but yeah, Kokiri's like, yeah, you're totally gonna win. I'm like, no, I'm not. So awards nights comes, I'm anxious, and then all of a sudden they read out my name, and at first I'm like, there's no way, no, there's another Princess Kaiora here, no, that wasn't me. And then like what hit me was when everyone started chanting PK, that was when I lost. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. Oh my gosh, art school was not a waste of money. It was not a waste of money. It got me my first award.
Woo. Well, GG, because you beat me. So.
Thank you.
But Kai, like I was not too far away from where you were sitting that night, and like you had all your crew surrounding you, and then I looked over and I see you, and like they're all like so supportive, and they're like cheering you on. It was that's what made it real, was just the energy in the room and just the love and support. So it's,
and especially because like I'm not used to having that sort of like praise from like people in general, because growing up, I grew up during a time where like being a nerd was like looked down upon. I don't know how old everyone is here, but I'm in my early 30s, and growing up in like the late 90s and 2000s, like nerd culture wasn't as embraced as it is now. And so like growing up, I was always used to growing up as, for lack of a better term, a nobody. That type of thing. Like I kind of just did my own thing. I was very introverted, wasn't very social. I just, I enjoyed my art, my video games, my nerd stuff. I basically mostly, enjoyed that myself. So like the idea, like I never would have pictured having this type of like thing like 20 years ago or even like 15 years ago when I was a teenager. Like, so it's almost surreal. Like hearing everybody cheer like that, it was almost surreal. I'm like, oh my gosh, like these people actually, they like me and my art that much? Like, what? So it was definitely surreal.
Yes.
And then big shout out to Amber and a few friends. They surprised me and Landy Lodge, who was staying at the Airbnb with us. He also won for Theory and Lore. They went out and surprised us. They got Landy and I each flowers and a cake, and kind of started this little after party at the Airbnb, which, by the way, funny enough, it was originally going to be just us at the Airbnb, but then more winners started showing up. Like FaZe showed up, Bio showed up, Land showed up, Damo showed up. So we're like, Yeah, sorry guys, your name is not written on the cake. So just imagine your name is on the cake. Just imagine your name is on the cake.
Yeah, use your imagination.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
look at
Yeah.
it and
Yeah.
form the words
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
head.
and it was a really high. It was a really hyped after party. Like every winner that came through the door, we went nuts. We went nuts. We chanted their names. It was
Wow.
it was a really fun time. Really amazing. It was worth. Yeah, no offense to the Data Devils, but it was worth missing the Data Devils for the after party.
No, I was gonna say I'd heard stories from like everyone else about what happened that night, and I had seen a couple things. I'm so sad that I missed it, but I had to pack because I was
Yeah.
leaving that Sunday, like literally right after the thing ended. So it was like, do I pull an all-nighter and like pack everything and like be completely exhausted the next day? I
Yeah.
don't know, but
I pulled
man,
an
I wish I
all-nighter.
was there.
The last night, Sunday night, I pulled an all-nighter because we just like a bunch of us didn't want to go to bed. I know.
No, of course.
Treehouse, Trousers, and D Empire. They had to leave at like 3 a.m. to get to the airport for their flight, so they were up all night.
Oof.
And then a bunch of us were up all night because we just didn't want to go to bed. We just wanted to
fair
make
enough.
the most of the time. So
Exactly, get the most mileage out of the trip. So
exactly. So I pulled an all-nighter Sunday night. I flew home on like 1 hour of sleep. I was running on
Yeesh.
fumes.
God.
Yikes.
Well,
But-
and then going back to the MDAs, I wanted to also shout out Dallin got nominated for mods.
Woo!
So,
I was so nervous, and the worst part was the mods category was right in the middle of the show. So, and then there was like Upgrades and Grand did an amazing job with his shows, but it extended it, and I was so nervous just sitting there.
I forgot.
Yeah.
And Topaz, who was also nominated for mods, he was messaging me on Discord throughout like the whole thing up until the category. He made the refined mods, which is basically just like a big fan patch for the PC versions.
Okay.
And we kind of had like a friendly rivalry going on in the Open Cage, which is the Kingdom Hearts modding Discord.
Mhm.
And we were just like messaging each other like I am so nervous, like I am shaking right now. But shout outs to Sonic. He's made the Kingdom Hearts 2 Garden of Assemblage mod. So like I don't know if I can really compete with that.
I can't imagine how much work went into that. So
I was gonna say that that the rando mod is so big that it's no wonder that Sonic won, but selfishly I just wanted Dallin to win because he's my friend. Same thing with Latrix. I was screaming to the top of my lungs when they announced Latrix and Dallin. But I felt so dumb.
No, I totally get it. Like there were some categories where I had multiple friends nominated. Like I know gameplay challenges. There was Lands and Snoko. I'm good friends with both of them, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, they're both friends of mine. Who am I supposed to cheer for? And then there were, and then like for content creator of the year, like obviously like all the content creators there were amazing, but there were like but there were a couple that I selfishly was more or less cheering on, like Faye and Lance. Like they're good friends of mine, so I was selfishly like, maybe one of them. But honestly, Damo, Damo deserved it hardcore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He put in so much work.
Yeah, big shout out to Damo. Shout
out to Damo. He was good. He wanted to be here with us today, but he's traveling right now. So
safe travels, Damo.
Same with Bio. He was gonna be here with us today too, but he is currently sick with COVID. So get well soon, Bio.
Bio's acceptance speech was funny because literally he starts off with, "I forgot I was nominated."
I know. Man, no. But I was gonna add too, like, it must have been so hard to one, get nominees, and two, to like choose a winner, like, because like you said, Kai, everyone deserved it. Everyone deserved like the dedication, the hard work, the praise. Like they deserved all of it, and it must have been like such a big task to actually sit down and be like, okay, well, this is who deserves it the most. And especially when you put especially when you add like personal bias into that, which it's gonna happen when you're voting for something like this. Personal bias is always gonna pop in because it's like personal bias, but also everyone else is so talented, right? No, of course.
And it's like I don't want this to be a who do you love more type of thing. It's just one of those.
No, I mean, well, it was so funny. I mean, Ben, you were saying everybody deserved it, but I will say when they were showing all the artists, I felt so out of place because everybody else they had like beautiful character illustrations and animation, and then they put mine up and it's just a bunch of keys on the screen.
Well, but no, Latrix. But that's the thing, though. Like,
Yeah.
These, though.
art comes in so many different forms. So, like,
and the fact that you got nominated with keys, That's
Yes.
that's an accomplishment because like if you look at like all these like especially because like you look at these fanzines, which I just got into one recently, and a lot of them they're pretty competitive, they're pretty selective, and a lot of them they're like, okay, can you draw these characters well, that type of thing. But yeah, you got nominated with keys, like that's an accomplishment. And the nice thing with keys is the uniqueness of your brand with the keys is I feel like you can do a lot with like merchandising with keys, especially with like commissions, because there's a demand for custom keyblades. Like one of my first commissions was from Treehouse, and one of the things he wanted was a custom keyblade. He wanted a custom keyblade themed to Pikachu. So there's a demand for custom stuff like that. So
high demand.
I do commissions for custom keyblades.
There you go. So
and that's what I do with mods too. I do commissions to put the keyblades in the game, and most of the ones I have done are from Latrix. So
it's like a pipeline. It's like a direct pipeline.
Yes. I want to officially like reopen commissions again, but the thing is, I'll be honest, my time management skills suck. So I need to get better at that before I can officially open up, because I don't want to leave people waiting too long, but I also don't want to work myself to the ground. I also have a day job and stream. So so I just gotta figure out time management. Yeah. Thankfully, luckily, like I have been commissioned by a few people. Thankfully, they've all been like good friends of mine. So they're like, yeah, take your time. We know you work a ton, you stream, you do all the stuff. So yeah, take your time. Don't work yourself too hard. So yeah, they've been like super patient. But when you're dealing with someone that's maybe not a close friend, they may not be as patient. So you don't want to keep them waiting too long.
Quick note. Speaking of commissions, I've been also thinking about doing commissions as well. I know that I'm not as great of like a drawing artist as a lot of people, but based on how well I've been doing in the Keyblade Forge Keyblade contest, maybe one of the things that I can do, or one of the things that I've been thinking of doing, is maybe doing the same thing of like Keyblade commissions on top of like maybe $2 for like quick doodles that I am able to do and things like that.
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not that great of an artist, but I just wanted to put that out there because I have been thinking about that for a while. I do like drawing. I do like doing art and graphic design. It's just hard for me to put myself in a position where I can actually monetize off of it.
Yeah. If you're worried about like your drawing skills, there's always a demand for graphic design, especially a lot of Twitch streamers who may not necessarily be skilled in that field. So a lot of them are always looking for like overlays or emotes or something like that. So if you're not feeling very confident with your drawing skills, definitely definitely consider like dipping into graphic design, because that one doesn't require nearly as much like in terms of like drawing and draftsmanship.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a graphic designer than an artist. That's why I mostly make keyblades.
Yeah, I mean, same here. But this was all like a roundabout way of saying, Latrix, don't feel bad. Like, of course, everyone else like has their own things, but like the quality, we're not judging the content, we're judging the quality. And like Latrix, the quality of your stuff is just so peak.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, wow, I am very out of place.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Esperoba, who, big shout out to her. Esperoba is amazing. Absolutely love her to death. She was the only one who had animation. Like, she submitted animation for her sample, and the last couple times I've seen her stream, she's been working on a fan animation. So, that was also really cool to see an animator get nominated as well.
Yeah, very much so.
I wasn't saying like, oh, I feel bad. I just did.
I sort of lost the plot a little. That's why I didn't know. I was trying to bring it back.
It's out of place. No, I mean, I have And I
There you
have been trying to expand more than just keyblades. Like I design custom items, I design other things. Like I'm working on phone cases now that there seem to be a lot of demand for. So I'm like,
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
the stuff you've been.
Yeah.
I've seen the stuff you've been posting, Latrix. Yes, very, very good. Very, very good.
Mhm.
I've just been sharing them in the Reconnect server just because I wanted to show y'all like the development. Just to show y'all like here's. It's a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be because it's like I have to make a render.
Right.
And then I have to submit it to the manufacturer. I have to wait for a mock-up to come back, see if it looks good, make adjustments, send it again, wait for it to come back again, send another one with more revision. It's not an easy process, but hopefully it'll work out. Because I mean, I just put out a tweet yesterday, saying like, "Hey, I'm working on this," and there's already like 600 likes on it, and like so many people being like,
"Oh, there you go."
I'm like, okay, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, no, very impressive, and I'm crossing my fingers that it all works out too, because like it would be such a good like thing to put out there. So
yeah.
And I mean,
it's
and
so
I just
funny. Like, can we talk really quick? This is a little off topic, but can we talk about how like for us artists, like it's always the most random piece of art that goes, and I use air quotes right now, that goes viral. Like, and when I say viral, I mean like hundreds of likes. I'm not talking about tens of thousands. Like, it's always the most random piece of art. Like my most viral piece of art, it wasn't like. It wasn't any of my MDA pieces. It wasn't any of those. It was my Yoshi Keyblade wielder like drawing, and I'm like,
oh right, I remember that.
Yoshi, like why did Yoshi go viral?
Hold on,
I know the one for Latrix.
Yoshi's cute.
Hold on, I'm sending it in the Reconnect Retrospective channel. Y'all gotta see this. This is my most liked Keyblade design.
Oh my god, that's right.
I'm telling you, it's always the most random piece of art that you don't expect. You think, it's just gonna be a nice little filler one, and all of a sudden everyone's like retweeting, and it gets like almost 1,000 likes. It's like, why this one?
This thing's sitting at almost like 10,000 likes, and I have no idea.
Yeah, it's so unique. That's why though.
It is pretty unique.
Stupid.
It's like unique. It has like kind of meme potential.
Yeah, exactly. And it's meme. It's like meme-like, but it's cute also. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was showing this to somebody at Reconnect, and I was like, I made a cursed Kirby Keyblade, and somebody was like, "There's no way a Kirby Keyblade could be cursed." And then I showed them this, and you're right, that is cursed.
Oh my god, that's wild. Well, Dolan, you know what your next project is.
Yeah.
Well, no, Dallin's already made a set of cursed Keyblades. That's glazed
true.
and plain donuts.
Oh my god.
That's right. That's right. The whole donut thing with. Oh my god.
I'm never gonna live that down because I designed those.
I remember when he was making those, he was trying to post them in the Discord, and Discord was not letting him post them.
Oh no!
Discord was like, nah, bruh, nah.
No. When I saw Bio at Reconnect, I was like, Bio, I am so sorry for the way those turned out. That was not my intention.
Bio's so funny. He's such a funny dude.
Yeah, Bio was great. And then, who was the one who sneakily put a glazed donut right next to Bio's name? I think it's someone in this room.
That was me. I did it. That was me.
Oh man, I remember he was like,
I did. I went back to the poster that everybody was signing, and I noticed there was a little tiny blank space next to Bio's name, so I just drew a tiny little glazed donut next to his name, and I was like, I want to see how long it takes for somebody to point this out. For him to notice.
Nice.
My god, that was man.
Yeah. Oh my god, no, it just reminds me now, you were talking about, like, funny, things that happen at Reconnect. I remember we were in the Discord server for the Reconnect server, and I was like, oh, I'm wearing this and that, and then Ben was like, oh, I'm wearing my fedora, so if you see, my fedora comes in, and I saw you, but I didn't say anything, so I just walked up behind you, and I messaged in the Discord, turn around.
Yes. And I saw that you posted that, and then I kind of saw you out of the corner of my eye when I like turned my head a little bit, and then I knew you were there, and I was just pretending like that I didn't notice you, and I was just eating my lunch or whatever, and then I was like, yeah, I see you, and then I turned around, and then that's our first introduction. That was great, and you also had that like cursed shirt on too. It's
my Among Us JoJo shirt. That was from
that was so good.
April Fools.
If we're gonna share if we're gonna share funny moments about Reconnect, I have this funny moment from Friday night.
Oh boy.
So party time at the Airbnb after the first night, and PK had a couple of drinks, a couple of drinks, a few shots, not a whole lot. And Mo brought his Xbox and Just Dance to the Airbnb, so a bunch of us were playing Just Dance. And it was me, Bambina, and Mo. Like, all three of us were doing this. We were doing this dance, and there comes to this part of the song where, like, it required us like turning, so we were like back to back to back to each other. So we're kind of doing this thing, and I don't remember exactly what, but there was an arm movement, and I accidentally swung my arm and pounded Bambina in the back of the head.
Oh no!
Like, wham! And like, I was like a laughing fit afterwards. She's gonna give me shit about it for the rest of my life.
I think I was there for that. I
think you were. It was after
I was like, I feel like I would have remembered that, but like, it's so, I don't know. Maybe I was just dying laughing when it happened. I was like, oh my god, it just went over right in my, went over my head after it happened. I was just, oh boy, no, that was Just Dance was a fun time too.
Yeah, there was this one. Yeah, we were. It was me and Zekbar. We were doing Gundam style, but then there was a point in the song where, like, well, first of all, we were failing both graciously, and there came a point in the song that's going to require him to crawl like between my legs. I know this sounds horrible out of context, but it's going to require him to crawl between my legs. As soon as I saw that on the screen, I was literally out there like, nope.
No, yeah, I was there. I was getting ready for it too. I was like, they're gonna get to the part. They're gonna get to that part. And I want to see how they do.
Nope. I'm out of here. Nope.
Yeah, so no, they just improvised. I think Zekbar still got on the ground on his stomach or something.
Yeah, he got on the ground, and then I was just like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, I'm out.
Oh my god, yeah, man, that was a party.
Yes,
it very much was, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know anybody was having like another party. I just went home after the event.
Yeah,
I feel like I missed out.
Yeah, there were a bunch of us who were staying at an Airbnb. It was me, Kokiri, my friend Peach, and then it was Landy and his wife, Kitties and Minnies and Andy Brew, Treehouse, Jashish, and Ill-Fitting Trousers. And then Agent Spacely, last minute, he had to crash at our place because he stayed with us Thursday night, and then he was checking in his hotel the next day. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but something happened in his room, and he basically didn't have a room. So we ended up just taking him back to the Airbnb for the rest of the trip. So we just crashed at our Airbnb. But yeah, Airbnb, man, like it's funny because like I thought, like, we're gonna maybe have like one big house party there. No, literally every night after Reconnect, it was the party house.
It was. Oh, it was the Mickey Mouse frat house.
I literally like every night after Reconnect, big crowd of people showing up to the house for a party.
Well, now I feel like I missed out.
Well, there you go. If next year happens, and it may or may not, we'll see. But if next year happens, now we know.
Yeah, we didn't like advertise.
Different clicks.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Originally, like we thought about doing like a big cookout and stuff like that, but. The only reason why we didn't advertise it was because we were worried about capacity because we knew there were going to be like a ton of people at Reconnect. So we were worried about like overcrowding the house and stuff like that. So it kind of ended up being like one of those where like, hey, if you know about it, and come on down. So.
Yeah, I know there were like a few groups that like did stuff at the hotel itself, and then again the Airbnb was its own group, and so. We would have moments where we were all together, and then we had moments where we were scattered apart.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like keeping track of plans and like people and places and things and stuff like that. So, but I was there Friday night. I wasn't there Saturday night, but Friday night was a blast. I will say, it was the place to be. So, again, next year, if there is a next year, or maybe it will be like 2 years from now. Who knows? But next time will be the time.
Yeah. I have a feeling the next one, or at least the perfect time to do the next one, would be when and if like I'm hoping Kingdom Hearts 4 releases in 2025. I'm hoping. Whether that happens or not, it's a different story. Right. But if everything goes right and Kingdom Hearts 4 releases in 2025, like I want it to, I think that'd be the perfect time to do the next Reconnect and do it close to like within the launch window of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking Kingdom Hearts 4 is probably coming in 2024 or 2025. Yeah, I'd still actually have 2024 beliefs because, I mean, there's a lot of games now. Like even Rebirth, like we saw like one trailer until this year, and then it was like, oh yeah, by the way, it's coming.
Yeah. I mean, didn't did they say they started Kingdom Hearts 4 right at the same time that Remind was being developed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they started early development right after Remind finished. So I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is actually further along than people think.
Yeah,
it
so
is.
they'd be like 3 years. And I don't know. I feel like the developers, or at least Nomura, he kind of seems like he's more unlike. He kind of seems more like he knows what he's doing this time around. Not that he didn't know what he was doing before, but I feel like before he just, he had a little too. He had a lot of creative freedom, but in terms of story, I don't know. I feel like now he's kind of learned like, okay, I need to just we're gonna, I got this.
Well, and Kingdom Hearts 3's development was a bit hectic because they had to switch
Yeah.
engines halfway
Right.
through development and basically restarted the entire game.
Yeah, that was
Fair enough.
nuts.
Yeah, one thing that I was keeping in mind is like 7 Rebirth. So 7 Remake came out the year after KH3, and now 7 Rebirth is seemingly a much bigger game than 7 Remake, and it's coming out beginning of next year. And so Kingdom Hearts 4 by that point will have been in development for longer than that.
Yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to probably come out either at the end of 2024 or the early 2025, around the same release window as Rebirth for next year.
Especially because now they know how to use Unreal Engine 4, which, from what I've heard, it's really easy to transition from 4 to 5.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
yeah, and if they reuse
It's
a lot of
basically
assets,
the same engine, just stronger.
Yeah. So if they reuse like a lot of assets, which I feel like that's what they're going to do, because that's kind of a smart and effective way of doing a sequel, is to reuse a lot of assets where you can. So yeah, that should definitely cut back on like some development time.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah.
No, I still believe Kingdom Hearts 4 is probably coming out either late 2024 or more likely early 2025, like January, February. But either way, I don't think it's as far off as a lot of people think it is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
By the way, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be 5 years old this January.
It's wild.
Really?
5 years.
Yeah,
Wild.
unfortunately.
No.
I hate it here. Like I was looking, I'm like, okay, are there any big Kingdom Hearts milestones that are happening next year? Like just like looking ahead, and I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be 5 years old. What?
Correct.
No.
What?
What?
So many things come and go. So many
Oh
things
my
come and go.
god.
I know. I hate it here.
That's wild.
But,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, my goodness, we've been going for almost an hour and a half now. So I guess I'll finish up with the last topic I wanted to talk about, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up because we definitely went longer than I thought. But we have a lot to talk about.
We do.
So the last thing was the big surprise at the end that I don't think anybody was expecting.
No.
So I just kind of wanted to get everybody's thoughts on Water and Whale's surprise wedding at the end of Reconnect.
Yeah, wow. I was not prepared.
No, I wasn't either. Is it bad that I thought that they were already like married? I didn't realize that they were married or not.
I couldn't remember. I knew they were like engaged, but I didn't know if they had already gotten married or not.
Right. Yeah, I think I was in that same boat. I was like, they definitely are past boyfriend girlfriend at this point. Like definitely engaged. I thought that they were already married at this point, but no, it was crazy that that they saved that for the end. I didn't, because I thought it was a little weird. They were like, oh yeah, be sure to dress up nice for the MDAs, which is what happened last year, but then also for this other thing, and I'm like, are they gonna announce like some big thing or something?
I was just wearing my HMK I Survived Yuzora shirt.
Right.
I was so underdressed, and I felt so bad because the thing is, like, they're like, dress your Sunday best, and I'm like, I only brought one thing of formal clothing. I don't want to clean it, and I'm like, it's fine, whatever it is. It's probably just something like, they said to dress up nicely for the MDAs, and like half of the audience was dressed in casual wear. So I'm like, screw it, I'm just wearing casual. And then and then guys started playing on the piano, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then I see like the bridesmaids and the groomsmen coming down. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up! No, I'm so underdressed.
I know.
So me, Latrix, Jedi, and Nick were all sitting in the same row. I was right next to Jedi, and while they were setting up, because it was taking a while for them to set up everything, but Jedi was just like, is somebody getting married? Like jokingly, and then actually happened.
Yeah.
Literally
I saw them
the same
set up
group
a
that I was with
arch.
too. We were like, okay, so I was sitting that day. I was sitting next to Kitty's and Andy. I think I said this already. And then I forgot who was in the row in front of us, but it was like someone else. And then like they turn around and then they like, they'd be like, "Oh, when are we gonna get this wedding over with?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," because it kind of looked like it, right? So that was another instance of like someone joking about the wedding, and then lo and behold,
No, and what's really funny is on the first night, me, Dolan, Jedi, Nick, Sydney, and we were all sitting at the same table as Water, Whale, and Whale's daughter, and we were like, what?
Yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah, we were. And before everything started, I actually interacted a little bit with Water when they were having Kingdom Hearts 2 on the CRT, and I just had no idea. Not only did I, no offense, not know who Water even was, but it was just so weird. Like, this one person that I met, like on the last day, is now all of a sudden getting married, and I'm like, this is crazy right here.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't talked or interacted with Water a lot until like I made the custom Keyblade that they put in the KH3 randomizer. I did that part of the randomizer, so that I talked with him a bit then. But other than that, I didn't know what he looked like because I don't think he really shows his face online very much.
No, not really.
So it wasn't until like Bio tweeted on the first day, like, "Oh, I got to see my brother for the first time in years," and I'm like, "Oh, that's Water, the guy with the blue hair."
Right. That I was surprised by that too. I was like, "Oh, I didn't expect Water to have like colored hair, which is cool and everything. Like it blue hair matches his name scheme. Yeah, exactly. But it was." I don't know. I never really realized it. And actually, funny story too. I was heading down. I think this was like, I guess, right before the surprise thing. Oh yeah, no, this definitely was after the data battles, and then it was before the. So I went up to my room. I grabbed all my stuff. I checked out, right, and then I just so happened to run into Bio, Damo, and like kind of like the whole kind of crew, and Mike as well. So. Like Bio noticed me first, and he was like, "Oh, hey, Ben," and I was like, "Oh, hi, Bio. I didn't realize you knew who I was." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I recognized you with your fedora," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, thanks." But then we're in the elevator together, and then they go down to the 4th floor, and then they're getting out of the elevator. I assume they were going to the 1st floor with like me, but then I think it was either Bio or Damo. They were saying like, "Oh yeah, we gotta go meet up with like the special thing that's happening," and had I known. I was like literally right there, and I guess they were gonna go and see either Water or Whale or whatever, like getting ready for it. And I at the time I just didn't think anything of it, but then now that I'm looking back at it, I was like, wow, I think I almost like ran into like them getting prepared for this wedding. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy how that happened to me. But
You almost got spoils.
pretty much almost got spoiled. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't have even registered that was going on, because I would have just been like, oh, cool, neat, they're doing the thing. Oh, okay. And then, but that whole, oh man, that was that.
Yeah.
I definitely did not expect that. Even though there were so many signs pointing to that being the case, it was I still like completely in the dark.
Yeah,
I
I cried.
Latex said that
Oh
he-
yeah, it was very sweet, very wholesome.
Yeah.
I was one of the people holding the Keyblades. I was holding Destiny's Embrace.
You
Oh,
were,
nice.
yeah, you were in the middle. That's right.
It was
then I
funny. Actually, before it started, I was joking. I was like, "Oh, Destiny's Embrace. That's like one of my least favorite Keyblades." Yay. Well, and then by the time I realized what was going on, I'm like, "Wow, I'm glad I'm holding Destiny's Embrace."
I know, right? It's so thematic. Wow.
Latrix, you mentioned like on like Friday night, you like think you accidentally walked in on them planning it a little bit because they were like.
I did. I
secret
accidentally. I saw. I had gone out, and I had come back, and I didn't know where everybody was. So I saw the back room where they were holding the convention at,
Mhm.
and I saw some people in there, but the door was like kind of shut, kind of open. So I'm like, oh, are people still in there? So I just walk in, and I see them all standing there, and I'm like, hi. And they're like, oh, get up. We're planning for the secret thing. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Wow.
That's funny.
Well, there you go. You almost got spoiled just like I did.
So I was just
Crazy.
like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I had left. I
Mhm.
didn't know what was going on. I just saw there were still people in here.
Oh, yeah. That was no. I mean, what a way to end Reconnect.
Oh yeah, no, it was
For real.
beautiful too. It was
Yeah.
so.
So
Not
beautiful.
gonna lie, it's making me want a Kingdom Hearts wedding now.
I think some people were talking about that. They were like, "Oh my god, that was so sweet. Let's do that." And I'm like, "Well, it's gonna be much cheaper than a Disney World wedding, that's for sure."
Yeah, for sure.
hmm But
Well, and
it's just
the other
crazy.
thing I was thinking of was I was thinking it was crazy because I was like not bio, I'm sorry, Water having a Kingdom Hearts wedding at Reconnect because I was like I remember for a while there Water had kind of stepped out of the Kingdom Hearts community after the KH3 randomizer, so I was like, is he even like still like involved in like the Kingdom Hearts community because I hadn't really
Right.
heard from him since then.
Yeah, that's true.
So, to see him come back with that, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on there. So
No, exactly. I was thinking like that's what a way to get back in. it's just with that. It's wild, but yeah, I think I can say this for everyone, but we're super happy for Whale and Water.
oh, for sure.
Yes.
Finally,
Absolutely.
like doing it in such like a like an intimate sort of environment, right? At Reconnect, we're all like friends of, we're all friends together and we're all, super supportive of each other. It's like that's what a perfect way to
Yeah,
I
do it,
Nobody knew, but we were all invited to their wedding.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And then having Mike oversee it too.
That was great. In an Organization 13 coat.
Dude,
Yeah,
okay,
I
no,
know. I was wondering like, is he gonna put the Zemnis wig on for this or? But no, he.
Well, and
he
then
didn't.
when he was ministering and he was like, by the power vested in me by the state of Texas and whatever church, I was like, did he get ordained for this? Like
Yeah,
just for
I guess
this?
so, right? Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Shout
Yeah.
outs to him for starting with Dearly Beloved and making everybody laugh.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that like released the tension a lot, and everyone like got more comfortable because we were like all
Yes, very much so.
emotional or confused and like what the heck is going on. But it was a smart move to start
Yeah.
with. That.
Very smart move.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Mike was the best choice.
All right. Well, it has been officially an hour and a half of talking about Reconnect. So we have gone 1.5 times longer than I thought we were going to go.
1.5
So,
HD remixed.
I get that.
no.
I understand that.
I understood that reference.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to I guess wrap things up because we talked about pretty much every topic I had. So I just wanted to say thanks all of you for joining us here on the Guiding Peace podcast to talk about Reconnect. It's been great. It was
Thank
so
you for
nice.
having us.
Oh
Yes.
no, absolutely.
Yeah,
it was so great
Yes,
getting to meet.
I
It was-
really appreciate being on here.
Exactly.
It was
Yeah.
so great getting to meet all of you there, and I was like, while I was there, I was just like, oh, I want to do a Reconnect retrospective on the podcast. So I started just going around asking people like, hey, do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to be a part of this? So I'm glad y'all are here to talk about it. I'm glad we can reconnect about Reconnect.
Aha.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Gosh, I hope they keep the
Yeah.
name. I honestly, I love the name for the
Yes.
event.
Name is pretty good. They'll have
Uh,
to KHify the titles though. They'll be like
Yeah.
Reconnect 1.5 or Reconnect 2.5.
Reconnect 2.5.
Yeah, there you
Reconnect
go.
2.9.
Reconnect
Yes, 100%.
final chapter prologue.
Yes. We got to go crazy with it.
So,
Yeah.
so the next Reconnect should last 358 over 2 days.
No, no.
oh my God.
So 6 months. Yeah. Forget work
Yeah,
or
so-
anything like that.
One last thing I want to say, just shout out to Guides and Mrs. Guides and the whole team.
Yes.
Just
Oh, yeah.
doing
Yes,
so
big
shout out
amazing
to
at
Mr.
the event.
Cage
It was so
Guides.
cool. It was
Yes. Without you guys and without the staff, it wouldn't have been possible. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank
from
you
everyone
guys.
here.
Thank you, Guides. Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you.
Guides. Thank you to all the staff who put this together.
Yes.
awesome.
We-
And again, we hope that next time is bigger and better.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you for watching/listening. This has been the Guiding Keys podcast hosted by the Keyblade Forge. I have been Master Latrix. May your heart be your guiding key. Goodbye, everybody.
The
Bye, everyone.
May your heart be your guiding key.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Yes.
Dun da da da! Hi there! It's your trusty Chirithy, here to remind you to like, comment, and share this podcast with all your friends. Please remember to subscribe to the Keyblade Forge, join the Discord server, and visit the merch store at www.keybladeforge.com. Don't forget, your friends are your power, so make sure to pass this along. Until next time, may your heart be your guiding key.